My name is Dr. Dave Pollock. I am the Bernstein Fellow at the Washington Institute for Near East Policy and director of Fikra Forum, which is a bilingual Arabic-English blog. And I'm going to be talking today about a public opinion poll that I recently organized for the Washington Institute among the Palestinians in the West Bank, Gaza, and East Jerusalem. This is based on one poll that I conducted. We're going to compare some of the results from this latest poll with some earlier results. These are interviews that are done face-to-face, not on the phone or online. The sampling is a strict geographic probability that is truly random. So you get a real representative sample of people in the West Bank, in Gaza, and in East Jerusalem. So one of the most striking findings, and this was the one that I reported first, is that the Palestinian public does not agree with its own political leadership on rejecting the Trump peace plan, even before anybody knows what's really in it. Both the Palestinian Authority in Ramallah and the Hamas government in Gaza have declared a complete boycott of anything to do with the Trump peace plan and have rejected it even before they know what it is. And many people have assumed that that reflects a popular attitude. Very surprisingly, it turns out that the Palestinian public does not agree with boycotting the US government and is willing to wait and see. I had asked back in the previous poll when Trump visited Israel and Bethlehem, I had asked about one of the things that he put in his idea for a peace plan, which is a bigger role for Arab governments in the surrounding region. According to the polls that I did in those other Arab countries, you had a very solid majority of people in those countries who said, yes, we should play a more active role. Back in mid-2017 and again in late 2018, the percentage of Palestinians who liked this idea of giving Arab regional governments a bigger role in peacemaking was minority, only about 40%. But in this poll, you have a majority of Palestinians, and including over 80%, an overwhelming majority in Gaza, who say that now that this is a good idea. So that's really a big change in Palestinian public opinion. And if you ask yourself, well, why? What happened? I'm not honestly 100% sure what accounts for this change, but I can think of a few things that seem very plausible to me. One is that the Palestinians, especially in Gaza, are more desperate today, economically especially. So they're looking for almost any support. They know, a lot of them, that that would be the role that the Arab governments, especially the rich Arab governments in the Gulf, would play if they had an enhanced role. Another, not mutually exclusive, I think plausible explanation is that the Palestinians have heard more about this idea. Before, it was just pretty obscure, and now, after more than 2 years of hearing bits and pieces, it seems like more of a realistic possibility, and especially because the poll was taken right after the Bahrain conference that brought Arab governments together to try and promote more involvement with the Palestinians and more economic help for the Palestinians. The third possible explanation is maybe the most interesting one, and that is that more Palestinians support this idea now precisely because they're more aware that their own government doesn't support it. And this is an example of, and there are many examples in the data on other questions, of the Palestinians in the West Bank, and even more so in Gaza, rejecting their government's position on a whole bunch of different key issues. So the second set of really, I think, very surprising, even dramatic findings is that the people in Gaza are actually more moderate than the people in the West Bank. And it turns out that the people in Gaza, if you ask them about whether they could ever be friends with Israelis or whether they ever want to be friends with Israelis someday, or if you ask them about whether there should be economic cooperation between Israel and themselves, even before there's a peace agreement, they are actually more inclined to compromise with Israel. And I think it's because, again, they are even more economically hard-pressed than their cousins in the West Bank, and because they're even more against their own government of Hamas in Gaza than the people in the West Bank are against their government. They are also the ones who suffer the most when Hamas provokes Israel. That's something that I think people need to understand. Hamas does not represent the people of Gaza. On some issues, the Gazans are not more moderate. On long-term questions of Israel's legitimacy or of permanent peace with Israel, the people in Gaza are mostly opposed to that. And on questions of attacks against Israeli settlers or a new intifada, the people in Gaza, a majority, actually support that. Unfortunately, neither the West Bank nor Gaza lives under democratic rule. There haven't been elections in either place since 2006. So the governments, whether it's the Palestinian Authority in Ramallah or Hamas in Gaza, they're interested and concerned about public opinion, but they don't feel that they have to follow it. So they are prepared to pay more attention to the extremist minority among their own public than to the relatively moderate or pragmatic majority. It seems like they're not going to change their position based on what their own people want. I think that the American government and maybe the Israeli government should understand that they may not have a partner for peace in the government, but they do have a potential partner among the Palestinian people. That's something that I think the Trump peace plan is intended to do, but it's hard to do that if you don't actually go more public and explain to the Palestinians and to everybody else what this plan is really all about and what it can do to provide a better life for the Palestinians. And that's something that I would encourage the US government and the Israeli government, and if they are willing to listen, of course, the Palestinian government, to pay more attention to their own people than they've been willing to do until now.